Okay, guys. So what we were discussing with the Tableau, like what we have gone through is like about actions, all those things. We have seen like what sort of various actions and how we can perform, select, hover, right? Menu, URL based functionalities, all those things. Now, what am I going to show you is I'm going to show you the default properties of our reporting elements like dimensions, okay, and measures we have, so such kind of stuff. So let's have a kickstart. Now look at this. What we know, the reporting elements, like what kind of reporting elements we have, like textual ABC dimension, geographical dimension, isn't it? Date dimension, and date and time dimensions we have. And apart from that, we do have measures, isn't it? This related to this, I have already given some introduction, but I would like to carry forward with the specific features. Okay. Now, for example, look at this, guys. How you will come to know? Look at this. This is what textual ABC dimension. This is what geographic dimension, and this is date, isn't it? This is what date dimension, and wherever you observe with this symbol like this, okay. See, this is what kind of it is one? This is what date and time dimension. Date and time dimension, which means a calendar with some clock symbol. A calendar with clock symbol. That is what date and time dimension. Okay, and the ash symbol, whatever you are seeing, is measure. Right. Now, how does these properties varies from reporting element to reporting element? And in today's session, I'm going to show you how to convert a dimension into measure and what is the purpose. And I'm going to show you how to convert a measure into dimension. So let's discuss in those perspectives. Okay. Now, here we go, guys. For example, I have a reporting element called category. Okay. So what kind of data you have here, right? It's a dimensional element. Category in the sense it is a textual dimension. Look at this, A, B, C. Okay. In a Tableau level, you don't need to specifically define at the initial stages. By default, you don't need to specify what is dimension, what is measure. Tool is having a capability to bring that what is dimension, what is I can say what is measure, like that. So tool is having capability to identify that. Okay. Now, so if you observe here, look at this, guys. What I said, the default properties of all these reporting elements. Okay. Now look at this. Select a particular object, right click. What is this? Default properties. Default properties, where you have comment, color, shape, and sort. Comment, color, shape, and sort, you have it, right? But in 8.3 version, see, this is what we are discussing about 9.1 version, right? Even in 8.1 version, we have one more functionality called alias. What is that? Alias. See, what kind of features you do have? Comment, alias, okay, color, shape, and sort. Okay. Now, but in a 9.1 version, what you have by default, I mean to say default properties like comment, color, shape, and sort. But in 9.1 version, they have given some more feature also, but I'll show it in a different way. That is what? Alias. But in 8.1 version and 8.3 version, it is been available. Okay, it is been available as a default property itself. Okay. Now look at this. So let's say first one, let's talk about what is the first one? Comment. What is that one, guys? See, comment. So this comment is exclusively helpful to comment on a specific column. Okay, to comment on a specific column. I mean, it's a reporting element. Now look at this. Select this particular sheet, go to default properties, comment. So what am I going to do now? I am going to comment on the particular dimensional element, that is textual dimension. Yes. Now, Look at this. Something I mentioned, like this is a comment I have passed on top of that specific column, and related to if you want to have any specific representations, all those things you can mention it here as well. I mean, so in terms of formatting all those things, fine. So commenting you have done on what? Commenting I have done on a specific column. Look at this. What is this? Categories of stores. How it is reflecting? See, for cities it is not reflecting. Look at this. But for category it is reflecting, right? See, categories of stores. So what does it mean? You are commenting on a specific textual dimension. Like that, you can do it for the any sort of relevant information. Is this not only for a dimension? You can do it for measure. Look at this. Even for measure also. Look at this. I have selected a specific measure. See, you can also perform this commenting stuff. Okay, which is exclusively to elaborate the purpose of that reporting element. So that is the main purpose. Okay, right, guys. So this can be even applicable to the date dimensions also. Yeah, absolutely you can. Okay, absolutely you can perform with the all sort of reporting element. It could be either a textual dimension, or it could be a geographical dimension, or it could be date dimension, or it could be date and time dimension, or it could be a measure also, irrespective of the case. Tableau is provide a comment on the respective data source reporting element, so that end user will have a clear picture whenever he is using it, because he will come to know about the purpose of that reporting element. Okay, guys, that is one thing. And second thing is what? Color. So we know that how we can define the colors. As per the normal process, we know that we can define the colors by just dragging choose the reporting element and just wrapping into our marks sheet. Look at this, we have colors. See, automatically the respective colors by default has been allocated something, but I would like to change colors. Then how? Look at this. Okay, you need to go to edit colors, and then let's say furniture, let's say I would like to have it in this color, and office supplies I would like to have it in something like in a different color, let's say in orange. Yeah, and technology, okay, yes, I would like to have it in green color only. Fine, let it see, dark green, light green, something like that. Yeah, okay, now look at this. What happened? The respective colors has been changed. So that is one approach, isn't it, guys? See, this is the way. And if you want to format with the stuff, you can format it. That's you can play around, right? So this is the way to deal with the colors. Look at this. This is what? Colors. That is one approach. What we did, simply just dragged and dropped into the marks sheet where you can apply the colors. That is one approach. And second approach is what? Look at this. I'm choosing specific dimension element. Okay, right click, go to default properties, and then colors. See, you can change it. Now let's say office supplies, I would like to have it in something like this amber color. So it is being changed. So in this way also you can play around with the colors by going ahead with the default properties. See, because you are doing the color changes to the individual list of values. So that is what you are not supposed to forget that. Okay, individual list of values you are doing the colors. Guys, in case the same activity in a traditional reporting tools, right, like business objects or Cognos or whatever it is, right, we supposed to perform some kind of a functionality called alerting functionality to highlight this kind of a list of values. Of course, you can do it to the whole column, but not to the individual respective values very easily. You can achieve it, I am not denying that. But in a Tableau, in a very advanced way and easy way, you can achieve this. Okay, so similarly, the same functionality is same. Sorry, guys. The same functionality you can applicable on the respective date and time. Okay, and even on the measures also, the same functionality can be added. Okay, guys. So that is what. Right, and the another one, The another one which I am briefing is what? Alias. Okay, what is that? Alias. So as I said, in 8.3 version, alias they have given as a default property, but from 9.1 version onwards, they are not giving it as a default property. But still, what is meant by alias, guys? Any idea? Alias. Alias is nothing but an alternate name of a alternate. Okay. So, but an alternate name, but except the name, right? The properties and everything remain same. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? I'm doing the aliasing. Alias is nothing but simple, guys. An alternate name in a simple words. Okay. Now, how I can define this aliasing concept? Look at this. Let's say I have furniture, but I don't want to denote it as a furniture. I would like to denote it something else. Now look at this. Simple. Select, right click. What you have it here, guys? Edit alias. Okay. So this is the property. Now I'm going to keep it as, let's say, FNT, something like furniture. Fine. Now look at this. Okay. Now for this one, let's say I'm defining it as, see, something like this. Guys, this kind of a naming convention for the individual values which are reflecting from the data sources. See, in a data source level, it was reflecting, the original name was something different. But for the end user requirement, okay, or else for the easy understandability to the end users, we are denoting it in this way. But in the traditional tools like business objects and all, it is very difficult to change the list of, the naming convention for the values. But for the headers, you can do it. That is fine. Okay, easily you can do it in a traditional tools also. But since it is an advanced tool, the Tableau is providing this kind of a flexibility as well. Okay, so don't forget that. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. So that is what aliasing concept. Okay. The another one what we have is shape. What is that? Shape. Now look at this. Select. If you go to default properties, we have what? Shape. Okay. You have what? Shaping functionality. Shape. Now, you can achieve this shape in two ways, guys. Quite simple. Okay. For example, I'm just placing it here. Okay. Why? Okay. Now look at this. Okay. Now I'll tell you. Look at this. Select. Or else we can do one thing. Okay. Now look at this, guys. As a default property, what are you talking about? Shape. Fine. Now, so this furnitures, I would like to define it with different shape. Now, operating OS, this office supplies, I would like to define it with something like this one, technology. And this technology, right? This technology we can denote it in a different way. Like, see, the plus symbol is fine. Okay. Right, guys? Oh, what happened? Okay, see, this is the functionalities that I would like to define. Come on, what is this? Okay, I'll tell you. Look at this, guys. So what I did, you have, what is this? Shape. See? Simple. The respective textual dimension, you just need to drag and drop here. Okay, and you have a functionality at a marks level. Okay, at a marks level, you have a functionality called shapes. Okay, you have a functionality called shapes, guys. Look at this shape. Now, whenever I hit using this property, look at this. It is been changing, right? Now, let's say now go to shape here. Okay, now you can change it as per your need basis. Now look at, for everything it is keep on changing, right? Now look at this. Okay, but let's say I would like to assign these shapes respective to the operating, I mean to say respective to the individual values. If that is the case, see, select, right click. What we did, guys, tell me what we can do. Edit. Okay. What is going on here? Okay. But this is occurring for everyone, for everything, right? Now you can do it for individual values also. Let me showcase you that. I'm going to show you right away. Okay. Now, but why it is not happening for individual values? Go to default properties, again shape. Yeah, now look at this in this way. So we can choose as per your need basis. The different values you can choose it. This is the way. Okay. But why it is not reflecting? It should reflect, guys. It will reflect. Don't worry with this. Okay. See. Okay. This is the different shapes that you can choose. Fine. Now, how about if I add any specific, how about if I add any specific measure to the existing column? Simple. The naming convention will differ. See, it will show you with these circles, something like this. That's it. But never differs. Okay. So that is what it is, guys. Okay. So what about a shaping functionality? That's what we are talking about here, right? Yeah. And you can deal with the different naming, following methodologies also here. Whatever, these are all inbuilt features, guys. These are all inbuilt features. Okay, you can use this as well. So this is the way. See, and if you want to edit these, right, now look at this. You can edit these colors also respective to this. Okay, all these things can be done. Right? Yeah. This is about shape, where we can deal with the properties of elements. Now this shape is same for the geographic dimensions. Look at this. Same for the geographic dimensions as well as the date, order date, or whatever it is. These functionalities are same. See, same. And even it is the same for even for the measure also. Okay. Where is the default property? Of course, sorry, for default property, this one, for measure it is not there, that's fine. But for dimension, textual dimension, and for geographic dimension, okay, and for date dimension, this is same. Okay, look at this. You have what? Shape. Okay, guys. See. Okay, fine. This is about shape. And the another one which we are supposed to discuss is about sorting. I think you know about sorting, but still I'll let you know in this way. Okay, now sorting you can do it. It's simple. In a simple step I'll tell you. So you have what? For example, let's say you select category and I would like to apply sorting, ascending. Okay, here descending. Look at the flow of a data. Okay, ascending and descending. Okay, see, either way. But here, what am I trying to do? Here I'm trying to do only ascending and descending. But apart from that, are we going to do anything else? No. I mean to say customized one. Now look at this. Select a particular reporting element, right click, okay, right click. Now look at this. Go to default property. You have what? Sorting, where you can do ascending and descending. That is fine, and you can also do it as per the alphabetical order, as per the data source order. I mean to say, in a data source level, whatever the date it is being, I mean, whatever the sorting has been applied, the same will be replicated. You can use this one, or else. If not, you can go ahead with the manual. See, basically, I would like to shuffle this. So simple, up and down. You can play around with this. Now look at this: FNT, technology, and OS. So this is not either ascending nor descending. It is purely customized sorting. Now look at this. Yep, you can play around with this as well. Okay. Right, guys. Okay. So in that way also you can deal with the sorting functionalities, or else you can do one thing. See, clear sorting. See, if you resolve the sort, yes, that will be removed. Okay. This is the way, guys. This is the way to define a sorting functionality as well. Okay. Yeah. So you can do a default sorting as well as the customized sorting also. That is also fine. Okay. Yeah. I'm just wondering why the shape is not reflecting for the individual values. That is what I'm wondering here. Give me a second. Okay, you got it here, right? So we can change the different values. That's fine. Right. So this is what, guys. Now, what I would like to say is this. Look at this. Comment, color, shape, sort. It is common for all the textual dimension, okay, as well as the geographical dimension, as well as the date dimension, as well as date and time dimension. Okay. So this is here, but it differs from measure. Measure will have a different stuff. Okay. Now look at this. Let me show you that. Whatever the properties that see. Okay. Comment, shape, sort, and clear sort. If I don't want to have any sorting, you can remove that. That's it. See. Okay. So these four. That is for textual dimension. Let me see with the geographical dimension. Same approach. See. Okay. Same approach for the geographic dimension. But for the date and time dimensions, additionally, look at this. Apart from the default properties, whatever we have gone through, additionally it is having date format and fiscal year start. Okay, fiscal year. Okay, that you will come to know that. Don't worry that. Okay. So this is what. Okay, apart from those what we discussed, additionally it is having date format and fiscal year format. That is what? Date dimension. Then how about order and date dimension? Look at this. Okay, order and date dimension also is having, see, date format and fiscal year start. So the date functionality is having additionally two set of default properties. When you compare with the, I mean to say, text dimension as well as the geographic dimensions. Okay. Now, let me show you how to deal with this date functionality. Okay, look at this, guys. You have what? Order date. Okay. What happened? It automatically. That's it. Okay. Now, so what I did, I am using order date. So basically, guys, if you observe here, this year is having some hierarchical stuff. Hierarchy in the sense, guys, any idea hierarchy means? Okay.
Year.
Exactly.
Order.
It is an Exactly. Hierarchy is nothing but an organized structure of a data, isn't it? Hierarchy is nothing but an organized structure of a data. Okay, it is nothing but an organized structure of a data, or you can also, which is helpful for multi-dimensional functionality, guys. Which is helpful for what? Multi-dimensional functionalities. Okay, multi-dimensional functionalities, multi-dimensions. I'm saying that multi-dimensions. So what kind they are? Like drill down. Okay, so this is what drill up. Okay, drill down and drill up. This kind of a stuff, which means drilling in the sense you are digging the data from top level to bottom level. Okay, so don't forget that. Drill down and drill up, which means, for example, I'll tell you with an example of time hierarchy. Time hierarchy. In a time hierarchy level, what is the top level data? Year. Okay, year. Next is what, guys? Quarter, isn't it? Next is what? Month. Next is what? Week. Next is what? Date. Next is what? Day, like Monday, Tuesday, something like that, isn't it? Now, see, in each and every level, the data varies. Do you agree with me? Yes, absolutely, guys. See, if you, a week is what? It is a mixture of 7 days. Okay, a month is what? It is a mixture of 4 weeks. A quarter is what? It is a mixture of 3 months. Right? So year is what? It is a mixture of 4 quarters. Isn't it? So now what is happening? It is having some structured data, an organized structure of a data. Okay. But in a Tableau level, see, based upon the nature of a data, the tool is automatically identified this hierarchy automatically. But in the traditional tools, it is not like that. We have to define them manually, one by one, one by one. Am I right, Roja? Do you agree with me in this case? In a traditional tools, we have to define it manually. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the Tableau, we do not have such kind of a facility. It is having a capability that intelligence will pick up automatically. That is the beauty with the Tableau again. Okay, now look at this. So this plus symbol is indicating the drill down functionality. See, look at this. For year, as per the standards, what is the next level data? Quarter. Now look at this. When I hit on this plus symbol, see, quarter. See, 1 year is a mixture of how many quarters? 4 quarters. Look at this. Do you agree with me, guys? Now, for quarter, look at this. What is the next level data? See, month, isn't it? See, month. 1 quarter is a mixture of how many months? Look at this. 3 months. Do you agree with me? See. And again, for month, how many weeks you do have? Look at, of course, here it is following day. That is fine. Okay. Now, if I want to remove this drilling functionality, simple. Select this, just hit on delete. Okay. Here we go. In this way, guys, we can play around with the drilling functionalities. Okay, that is fine. Okay, fine. Okay.
Ganesh, Aman here. So in the source data, we have an order date, right? So in case if I want to show the order date in my report level, so I had to drill down till the order date, and after that I had to remove the upper 3 levels. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. But most of the cases, right? This, in case if you have this kind of a hierarchical oriented data, even customer also prefer to drill it down. Okay. But until unless it is the report is demanding is like that, then we have to go ahead with the specific stuff. Otherwise, this is the best practice. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem, sir. Now, see, basically, what is the order date? But why it is showing something like this, right? I would like to show exactly how it is. See, it is showing year of order date, but order date in the sense I should have something different, right? Now look at this. Okay, fine. Now look at this. What am I going to do? You have order date. Select, right click, go to default property. You have what? Date format. But basically, why it is showing something like this? I would like to have whatever it is exactly available in a source level. That is what even Aman is also referring. Okay, whatever the date, whatever it is available in my source level, it has to be reflected. I don't want carry the Tableau functionality to be working here. So if that is the case, select a particular object, right click. Okay, select a particular object, right click. What you're supposed to do? What is this, guys? Exact date. Now look at this. At this moment you have what? 2011, 2002, something like this. Okay, but I would like to have exact date which is in sync with my data source. Here we go. Okay, fine. Now once you're done with this, you have to convert into, what is that? Discrete. Anyway, I'll tell you that. See, discrete. This is the exact order date. You have it in your data source. I'll let you know what is meant by discrete and what is meant by continuous. Don't worry with that. Okay. See, this is the what. Now, look at this, guys. What am I trying to do here? You have to catch this point. Okay. Now look at this. Order date. 2000, it is giving distinct values, isn't it? But I would like to have whatever it is my data source level. Now simple, select, right click, you have to keep it as exact date, and then you have to keep it into discrete. See, this is what exact order date you have it in a data source level. Okay, but previously it was giving me something different, right? Now, how I can change the format of this? I don't want to stick on with this format. How? Simple. Select that particular reporting element, right click, go to default properties. You have what? Date format. Now, these are all the default formats. If you want, you can also create a customized one, not an issue. That is up to you as per your reporting requirement basis. Absolutely. Okay. See, for example, see, in fact, how it looks like, see, month, MMDDYY format you have, right? MMDDYY. But I don't want to be like that. I would like to something to denote in this way. Month, date, and then year. Here we go, guys. What happened? It has been changed. Do you agree with me? Yes. This is the way. Okay. Now, how I can remove this? Very simple again. I mean, yes, fine. Okay. Now again, go to order date, right click, default properties. Do you want to change something else too? Yes, if that is the case, you can go ahead, not an issue. So that is what. So, which means what, guys, here? You should understand that whatever the date format which is reflecting from the data source, okay, which is reflecting from the data source, you are customizing it as per your need basis. The format you are changing it. Yes, that is also possible. The same approach, even you can achieve it in a traditional tools also. I agree with that. Okay. Yep. Now, what is the another one, guys? Did you observe this? The another property which is different from the other properties, whatever you have, is fiscal year. Fiscal. What is meant by this fiscal year, guys? See, basically, most of the, I mean, let's say, I can say like in Western countries, like they do follow calendar year, which means from January to December, because of various their financial reasons. Okay. January to December. That is what called calendar year. Okay. That is the reason, if you observe here, right? I mean, most of the US customers, right? They will wind up all their projects by December, and they'll start up a fresh bidding and fresh auditing and fresh funding and everything from January onwards, because that is their year end. But coming to especially like Asian countries like India, right? So they mostly follow with the fiscal year, which means March to April, April to April, something like this. Okay. March end and March end. That is the fiscal year ending. That is the year ending for us in Asian countries, especially, right? So this is the way. So if I would like to deal with any content which is respective to the fiscal year, then how? If that is the case, look at this, guys. Okay, let me remove this. Okay. and let me add again. Okay, now look at this. You have what? 2011, something like this. Fine, agreed. Now, what am I going to do? Now I am going to add the fiscal year content. Now look at this. Fiscal year start. From which month onwards? As per the practices, it's supposed to start from April onwards. Fiscal year starting, not ending, I'm talking about. Okay. Fiscal year starts. So that is the reason he has given fiscal year start. The Tableau has given fiscal year start. So April. Now look at this. What happened? The flow has been changed. Now if you go to the next level of data, what happened? Look at this, guys. What happened? See, from April onwards, this is end and this is starting. See, April onwards, something like this. So in this way also, now if you add any measure or whatever, it gives you the corresponding values again. See, okay, look at this graph. Right, guys? Either ways you can choose. Okay, see how beautiful it is. The graph, I mean to say, right? Right, and not only that. Now let's say here, for example, let's say I would like to denote with the prefixes as dollars. Then how? Very simple. Go to order date, right click. You have what? Is a date format, right? So you have prefixes and all. Of course, date format you don't have prefix. For the measures you have a prefix. That's fine. Okay. You can do the prefixes also. For example, let's say, okay, I'll tell you with the measures. Okay, then this is the way. Okay. You can play around with this. And yes. Okay, so this is the stuff. Now, yeah, this is what, guys, fiscal year concept. Okay. Yep. Are we good with this, guys? Any questions? Because now I am going to jump with the measure default properties. Okay. Now, so let me remove all these things. Fine. Now you have what? You have a measure. Now for that, let me add something like something. Okay. Now you have what? Measure. Now look at this, guys. So how we can denote a measure? With hash symbol. Now go to default properties. So you have what? Number format. See the color and all, we have already gone through it, right? See the comment and color we have already gone through. Now number format. I don't want to follow the number format, whatever I have it here. I would like to have something different. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Now, and the prefix should ended up with, should start with some dollar value. Yeah, absolutely. See, dollar has been prefixed with this dollar value, right? So this is the way to deal with the format. Okay, guys, this is the way to deal with the format. Now, what else we have? Aggregation. Aggregation in the sense, now look at this. By default, you have what, guys? See, measure in the sense what? It is an aggregated data, summarized data, isn't it? Where we can apply sort of aggregations, which can be summed up. Not only sum, I can say, like, but basically it consists summarized data. Now, by default, why it is having this sum? See, if you want, you can also change in a different way. Look at this. You can choose all these aggregated functions like count, mean, median, mode, whatnot, everything. Okay. See, now let's say I would like to show it average. See what happened? It is showing you average values. Now if I choose again count, look at this, CNT, count off again. Isn't it, guys? Now let's say, now you can ask me a question. Can we use multiple measures with, same sales with the multiple aggregations? Yes, absolutely. Why not? But for that, again, you need to pull up those respective measure over here. See, now this time sum, but here I have count. And again, now look at this. I would like to have something like, this time I would like to have average. Yes, absolutely, guys. Absolutely, you can go ahead. See, average. See. Right? So this is the way you can play around with this. But if you want to keep something default value as an aggregation, if that is the case, look at this, aggregation. You can keep it by default as sum, but you don't want it, you wanted to change it specifically, come over here. Okay, either ways you can do it. Okay, you have this one. Yeah, this is the way to deal with the aggregations of measures. Okay, this total using I'll let you know guys, because this would be useful during the our I can say like customization of reporting elements. I'll touch base this later. Okay, so don't worry with this. Okay, total using, just keep it as an open question. Okay, so don't worry with this. So this is what guys. Yeah, see, one is talking about count of sales, and another one is talking about sum of sales, and another one is talking about average sales. That's how it works. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Any questions, guys? Please. This is the data we can view also. Okay. Because if you view the data, you can, in a source level, you might not have dollars and all. Okay. The discount is not having dollars. If you want to append any dollars, yes, you can. So all this you can achieve. Right. How you can see the total data, guys? See, you have stuff here, view data. So you can see the total values. And if you want to restrict to any specific values, like 1000 values, something, you can. Okay, like that. Yeah. Right. Any questions so far, guys? Any questions so far? Any questions? Please, guys, any questions, please? Okay. Okay, guys. Now, I'm going to touch base a concept of how we can convert a dimension into measure. Does it make sense or not, and what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage, something like that. Okay. And similarly, it is a vice versa case where you can convert a dimension into measure. A measure also can be converted into a dimension. But what is the reasons behind it? Right? Yeah, that's what we will discuss right away, guys. Okay, we'll discuss it right away. Now, so what am I going to do is, now I'm going to do converting a dimension to a measure. I'm going to show you right away. Okay. You know what is meant by dimension, right? Dimension consists what kind of a data? Descriptive data, where it gives, okay, descriptive information. Measure in the sense, measure consists what? Aggregated data, summarized data, isn't it? Now look at this. For example, I have a category. Can I convert this into measure? See, this is what having descriptive values, right? Now, when I have a dimension, okay, when I have a dimension, see, here you have a feasibility to convert into measure. That is fine. You can convert, not an issue. But what makes you to convert? Right? It should make some sense out of it, right? Whenever you are converting something, there should be a reason, business reason for that, isn't it? Now, does it make sense if I convert, okay, if I convert a dimension into a measure? See, you have a descriptive data. Then what makes me to, right? What makes me to convert this? See, let's see. Select, right click, convert it to measure. What happened, guys? Nothing, because what happened to this? It should have, okay. See, of course, I changed into a measure, that is fine. Or else you can do one thing. See, now category has been turned into a measure. See, now you have what? The default properties and everything is same, but What you have it here is discrete. Discrete in the sense, see, continuous in the sense it will show you in this way, but discrete where it gives you the count of category. How many categories you have? 9,995 categories you have. For this purpose, it can be helped out. Okay, right guys, simple. What I did, whenever I converted a measure, it is being considering as continuous. If it is a continuous, it will give you these values, how many number of values you have, count of category in this way. Okay, this is what at this moment by default, what is the option you have? Continuous, which is never helpful if you do in this way. So that is the reason you have to keep it in a discrete manner where it gives you the count of it. Okay, let me show you. You have a country, so you can do one thing. How to convert dimension into a measure? Simple, just select, drag and drop. See, automatically it has been turned into a measure. It will be turned into a measure, or else see in this way. Okay guys, yeah, simple. Please have a again. Now look at this category converting into measure. See, now it has been placed here. I'm just pulling here. By default, what is the count it is having? Count it is having. If you want to change, okay, any measure functionality you can see count. Okay, fine. Now at this moment, now it is having continuous. Now I have to make it as discrete, so it gives you the count of this one. But by default, changing I can say like changing dimension into measure, does it make any sense? No. If you want to have to know this kind of in this way, then that makes sense. But I don't think in most of the cases we will use this, but sometimes we'll definitely I accept with that too. Okay, so here what we did, from continuous to discrete we have changed it, so don't forget that. Okay, so this is one stuff. Now can we convert a date into a measure? No, absolutely not possible. Absolutely not possible, guys. A date, like date dimension as well as order and date dimensions, you cannot convert into measures. Okay, so don't forget that. So right now you have a measure. Now let's say I have a measure. Now I would like to convert into a dimension. Now look at this, convert into dimension. See, it has been placed at it somewhere around here, dimension, sales, right? Now yeah, what happened? What am I doing with this? So convert into continuous, so it gives you something like this. Okay, some values like this. Okay, so what is your understanding here? What is your understanding here? Which means discrete is the default property of a dimension which is not measurable. Don't forget that. Discrete is a default property of a dimension which is not measurable. Okay, because by default a measure will have what? A continuous function which is always measurable. So continuous is a default property of a measure which is always measurable. Okay, and discrete is the default property of a dimension which is not measurable. So that is the reason whenever you are converting a dimension into a measure or measure into a dimension, you have to take care about this discrete as well as the continuous values. So don't forget that. Okay, but the date and time cannot be converted into a measure values. Okay, cannot be converted into a measure values, whatever it is. It could be a date, or it could be a date dimension, or it could be a date and time dimension. It cannot be converted into a measure. But we can change the properties in the sense like commenting, color, such kind of stuff we can do, but we cannot convert them into a measure. So that is highly impossible. If you change them, this total hierarchy will get disturbed. So that is the reason it is not possible. Okay guys, so that is what about conversions of dimensions and measures. But by default, don't do it until unless you have a high customization of a report level requirement, then only you can go ahead with this. That too, you should think about the continuous as well as the discrete functionalities. Okay, yeah. So this is it guys, for today's class. This is the stuff. Thank you guys.